What is up, guys? Mark here with a brand new video for you guys today, and I said that so fast. Anyways, today I want to talk about some of the things mentioned in my last Apex School video, which was how to screen, how to ADS properly, and how to hip fire. Now, we're going to do this in 3 parts. It's not going to be just one full video on all 3 of those. We're doing one at a time. So let's talk about hip fire. Now, when it comes to hip fire, I feel like the best way to explain this to you is to recommend you play another game. What? Yes, play another game. I'm a firm believer in you can get better at one game by playing other games. I know a lot of people find it hard to do because a lot of games have different controls, but to me personally, you get better at one game if you experience how much skill it takes to play another game. For example, I play Siege. Because of that, I have a very, very good game sense, very good game awareness. Because in Siege, you have to have those things to be very good at the game. Not good, very good at Siege. You have to have a lot of awareness. You have to be very aware of everything around you, because that game can get very chaotic and overwhelming when you don't. So I would say play other games. And when it comes to hipfire, the best way to learn how to be good at hipfiring in video games is to play Halo. In games like Halo. Why? Because for the most part, especially the early Halos, you didn't have the option to actually ADS in the early Halo games. You had to shoot from the hip. And they did, even when they did add in ADS into Halo, for the most part, you didn't really use it because it would slow you down and it would decrease your actual in-game fight response. So even people who are using the battle rifle, the DMR, and guns like that, they're still hip firing and just aiming the entire time. Halo is a great game to learn how to hip fire, especially when it gets like Apex. Apex has a lot of guns that are very similar to the Halo assault rifle and similar to the Halo's SMGs. So when you use those guns, the assault rifle Halo, the SMGs, the Promethean weapons that are similar to those weapons, you don't ADS with those guns ever. You're always hip firing the entire time and you get success with it. So if you go to play Halo, you use those weapons, the ARs, SMGs, not the battle rifle, not the DMR, the AR and the SMG in Halo, you will learn how to get good at hip firing. I have a few clips from Apex where you see me getting a decent amount of kills just hip firing, and I'm not just sitting there shooting from the hip. I'm also strafing, moving left or right, and that also helps. That also takes a part into it. So that helps you get good at hip firing as well. Being able to strafe and being able to move. Your whole process when it comes to being good at shooting is making yourself not a good target. So if they can't land their shots, no matter how many shots you yourself miss, as long as you're hitting them, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you miss 10 out of 30 bullets that you shot, as long as 20 of those landed. And vice versa. If they're shooting at you, if they land 10 and miss 20, you win that gunfight. So being able to stick and move around will greatly increase your ability to win gunfights when it comes to hip firing. And in general, controlling your mouse, controlling your controller when it comes to being in those fights will also help. Hip firing is not some huge skill demanding thing. It comes with natural game awareness and game instinct. When you have the instinct to just strafe a little bit and fire from the hip, you'll win a lot of gunfights that way. And again, Halo is just perfect for that. And if you don't have Halo, if you're on PS4, you don't have the option to play Halo, I'm sure there's alternatives on PS4 where it's very similar to Halo and hip firing is very effective. I don't play on PS4, so I can't really say myself. So if you're on PS4, I'm sorry. But if you're on PC and you're on Xbox, you have no real excuse to not experience Halo, and just teach yourself to be good at hip firing by playing Halo and only using the SMG and the AR and even when it comes to the battle rifle. When it comes to battle rifle and DMR, those guns are more so used without ADS, and so use those as well. Just don't ADS. Those guns will actually help you get good at headshots in video games. Period. Now I was gonna save this for the ADS video, but even when it comes to hip firing in Halo with a DMR and a battle rifle, it teaches you to be very good with your aim and again shooting from the hip. Because again, Halo is a very fast-paced game. Sometimes you don't have time to ADS. So a lot of Halo players, they learn to play the game without it. Yes, the option's there for you to ADS with a battle rifle and DMR and a light rifle and a carbine, but they don't do it. Why? Because it's more efficient and optimal to just hip fire, even when it comes to using a single shot or burst weapon to the head. And that's why you be more effective in Halo. You can watch any Halo gameplay. You can watch any Halo player, be it streams, YouTube, old Machinima videos, old Pro League videos, even modern Pro videos. More often than not, when you're seeing Halo players play Halo, they're not ADSing unless they're sniping. And even sometimes with that, they don't do ADS because in Halo, you don't really need to. You can trust your crosshairs in Halo. And you gotta get good with that. That's the other thing when it comes to getting good at Apex when it comes to hip firing. Trust your crosshairs. Even when it comes against like CSGO and Valorant, for the most part, a lot of those people, they pick their guns that they prefer based on their crosshair because that allows you to be good at shooting from the hip. Which again, I'm also gonna recommend play CSGO or Valorant to get good at shooting from the hip. Those are games where more often than not you're going to be in fights where you won't be able to ADS. I don't even think you can ADS in CSGO. I never played CSGO, so I don't know. But from what I've seen on one of my friends, Watch Raccoon Gaming, who link will be in the description box below to her Twitch stream as well as mine's, cheap little plug. I've watched her play the CSGO, and for the most part, from what I understand, you don't ADS in CSGO. That's another game you learn to hip fire from. Halo, CSGO, and Valorant. Play these games. Learn to hip fire. Learn to not rely on aiming down the sights. Because that's a lot of the issues people have. People feel like they have to get to an ADS situation when they get into a gunfight. You need to get good at not relying on that at all. This is going to come into my screen. When I do video for screening, I want to mention mini maps. But for today's video, I'm not going to mention it too much. But there's a similar thing to that. When you get used to having a mini map, you rely on it. So it's the same thing when it comes to ADSing. You rely on ADSing. You rely on it too much. You rely on hard aiming. You rely on it. You need to break that mode, break that old habit, and start being able to rely on hip fires. It's kind of just like the same thing when it comes to reloading. We don't need to reload. Like you shot 2 bullets, but you reload because you feel like I have to reload or when I die because I don't have those 2 bullets. It's a bad habit that all gamers have, including myself. But when it comes to hip firing, you have to be able to have faith in yourself as a hip firer when it comes to using hip fire. English, first language. Who would have thunk it? But anyways, that's it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave any thoughts you have in the comments below. I hope this was informative enough. I know for me personally, I'm not the best talker. Like I have a good voice apparently, from what I've been told. But I'm not the best talker because I do have a habit of talking too fast. And I also have a habit of not making sense. So hopefully this video makes sense to you on hipfire itself, as well as the tip of playing CSGO, playing Halo, to get better at hipfire. If you're someone who refuses to play those games, maybe the best way for you to improve at video games is to break out of that mindset that I don't want to play these games. They can help you get better at the game. Playing other games helps. You have nothing to lose other than some money if it's not a free to play game. But outside of that, playing these other games, getting good at hipfiring these other games, will make you overall better at Apex. You can be the best predator you can be in Apex when you have that experience from other games to put into Apex and use to your own advantage. Keep that in mind. With all that said, I've been the Archangel. Hope you all have a good night. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye, good night,